so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. The pros from the dealer's floor with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Story flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care.
Happy Friday. It is time. And the music, the audio is running. Good to know.
Did everybody hear that new intro? I loved it. I don't know if our new intro was on there, our new music, but that was really pretty cool. Anyway, music aside, we are here. Welcome to Mohawk Table Talk. We're only a couple minutes late. It's now 12:15. It is, what is the date? It's Friday, October 24th, 2025. We're only a few days away from a couple events we have going on. We're a week away from Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have a Halloween edition?
Yeah.
That could be a thing.
We're coming dressed up next one.
That's right. And
next podcast.
It's going to be us, whether you recognize us in or out of costume. That's to be seen. Anyway, welcome to Mohawk Table Talk. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mike, and with me, as always, is Nathaniel Greklich, and we're ready to go. We're ready to get you the latest and the greatest about the car business, nationally and locally. And, of course, we're always going to tell you what Mohawk Auto Group has going on, and we have something going on here in the next couple days.
Yeah. So you've spent years negotiating the price of your vehicle. You've gone in and out of dealerships. You've asked for your best price or else. But what if we told you that the landscape is changing? What if we told you that's all changing today? Today we're asking, is one price selling model the wave of the future or just a fad fading away?
That's true.
Today on Mohawk Table Talk. But as Mike said, we are here every Friday to give you the latest and greatest, to make you become an educated car buyer. Thank you if you are watching, have been watching on the replay, whether you're on Spotify, Facebook, or YouTube. We really do appreciate it. Or if you're watching this on Instagram, on one of our shorts, we really do appreciate you for tuning in. But there's so much going on. Let's get started with the events that are happening. Today, we are going to be at Double M Haunted Hayrides. We do it every year for Mohawk Chevrolet. We got a whole group coming in. And actually, Two Buttons Deep is going to join us on the hayride tonight, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And we do this every year with Double M. They're so close to our Chevrolet dealership that it just makes sense for us to partner with them. And they have a lot of fun. The Leo and the team over there, they do a great job with coming up with new ideas, new things every year. And this year actually marks their 35th anniversary of doing the Haunted Hayrides.
Wow.
So congratulations to our friends over at Double M. We will be there tonight with our tent, rain or shine, and we have crazy cornhole. So make sure you check that out. Moving on down, we have our trunk or treats going on Sunday at both of our locations from 11 to 1. You won't want to miss that. At our Mohawk Honda location and our Mohawk Chevrolet location. Come on down, be a part of what's going on there as well. And coming up, November 9th, we are getting close to November. Isn't that crazy?
A few days away.
A
week away.
Yeah, week, yeah. It's 8 days-ish.
Well, Halloween's next Friday, so yeah, almost. A week.
There we go. Oh, that's because there's only 30 days in October.
Well, 31st is probably Halloween, but close enough.
Anyway. Moving on.
We have a reminder here. By the way, we decorated the studio, as you can see, as a reminder, not just of what the date is, but also what's going on here. We're just to really double tap on that. Trunk or treat. Join us at either Mohawk Honda in Scotia or Mohawk Chevrolet in Ballston Spa. And check it out. Great place to bring the whole family, bring the kids, have them dress up for sure. And parents, don't forget you dress up also, because there's going to be candy, there's going to be decorated vehicles, there's going to be trunks with treats in them. And if you didn't already say this, I think it's we're going, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., right in the middle of the day. Might as well get that candy in early, right? Yep,
get them in so they crash right away, and then you're good to go.
Right. So we're really looking forward to that. And as far as location, if you're not in the immediate area and don't know the two stores, Mohawk Chevrolet is located right off exit 12 of the Adirondack Northway, which is Route 87. And just down the street from them is where Double M Ranch is, which is where the Haunted Hayride is. It's literally right down the street. You can almost see the Haunted Hayride from the Chevy 100%. Showroom. It's right there. So that's on Route 67 in Ballston Spa. So please join us there later tonight. It's going to be cool. It's not supposed to rain, I don't think.
No, it actually looks like it's going to clear up. It was sprinkling today, and I got a little nervous, so I checked the weather. So we're going to be good. We should be all set with that. It might be a little bit chilly, but hey, we are now halfway through October, we should plan to be chilly.
Yeah. From now on.
From now
it's
on.
It's not going to get too warm.
We have another 6 months of chilly coming on.
Yeah.
Except for that one heat wave that always comes in December.
Yeah. We get that 65 degree and we're like, oh, it's back. No, it's not.
No.
It's just one day.
I think we call that fake summer.
Fake summer number 3.
Yeah, fake summer number 3. So let's get into this a little bit. One price selling. Now, I do believe that there is a trend like this. You have AutoNation, you have the Carvanas, you have very, I would say, large corporations going, and there are some few dealerships that do it as well, but mainly we see this one price, no haggling, and it's portrayed to be the best option for the customer. Now, Mike and I off camera were kind of talking a little bit about this and what it means for you as a car buyer. And where do we see ourselves potentially ending up on this scale or this maybe black or white issue? We want to know first, if you are hopping in here, whether you're on TikTok or whether you are watching this on the replay, in the comments below, do you prefer a one price, no haggling structure from a dealership?
This is a topic that we're going to chat about for about 10 or 15 minutes, but I think we could talk about this for hours or days or weeks because it's a big topic. So if there's ever a time we ask for your comments, this is it. So again, like Nate said, if you're live, feel free to jump in. If you're watching the replay, please put your comments in because it's interesting. There are certainly a couple sides to this. And from my research, just chatting with people that I know, friends, family, and other people that I've just known throughout the years, there certainly is a difference. And some people like one thing, and some people like another. It's kind of like a Coke or Pepsi thing, right?
Yep.
It's one way isn't right or wrong. It's just a difference. So if I can kind of just give my couple seconds on this, there are certainly companies out there, like Nate was mentioning, like a Carvana, where you can buy a used car, like a Tesla, where you can buy a new EV, online stores where somebody can go on, the price is the price, it's not negotiable, you can even get a trade value from them, which is not negotiable.
So I was just trying to fix this camera real quick and make sure our friends on TikTok can see us.
They can.
There we go. That's better.
And
I'll get a little bit closer.
And once you have that quote, if you want to buy the car, you buy it, right?
Right.
Or if you don't want to buy the car, there's nothing you can do to interact with the company because it's a website. So you either buy it or you don't buy it. It's like a take it or leave it.
But do you also think that's the same thing in the dealership? So I saw, Carvana definitely not because that's probably all online.
Correct. Carvana's all online.
So Carvana's all online. Then you have dealerships that are saying one price only.
That's true.
So what happens if a customer comes in looking for a car? Is like, hey, is this the only price, or is there any room? What are we thinking here?
Yeah. There definitely are dealerships that advertise, and part of their kind of credo or their mantra is that we give idea there makes a lot of sense, right? And maybe that's why some of the online stores do it. There's a good chance, though, the online stores do that because they literally don't have the logistics to, right? It's like Amazon. You can't talk to Amazon when you want to.
Can't talk to Amazon.
You just click on the thing, and if you want to buy it, you buy it. If you don't buy the thing, I guess. So there's some stores that sell cars that are the same way, and I think some people like that. Right now, I would submit though that those that little box of tube socks that you buy on Amazon is a little bit different than buying a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 car.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the same thing. If I don't know, I'm gonna use a term that I use frequently here. Is it kind of pretzels my brain. My mind gets all twisted up. I guess that works if you don't have a brick and mortar spot. But if you do have a brick and mortar spot, and the customer comes and goes, "Hey, I'll get this car if ...
Right.
You be like, "Nope, sorry," and just be like, there goes another customer, who would have maybe, if you just hey, courtesy, we'll give you a free oil change.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, sure, that sounds good. I'll take that. Or floor mats or whatever we say. But as someone who may have used cars only, that may not work as well.
Yeah, so there's kind of like a big topic here, which we're going to just try to summarize here in about 10 minutes. But the big topic is some consumers, and you can weigh in and decide if give a comment as to what kind of consumer you are. And of course, there's no wrong answer because we want to know in the comments. Customers, but some customers may find a vehicle. And it's 99% the right vehicle, right? The color's right, everything's right about the car. Trade-in is involved, and kind of like the pricing is structured, but it's just a little bit away. Like for example, maybe you have a certain amount that you're approved for at your bank, and it works out perfectly for you. And the difference between the end price and the perfect scenario is $300 or $400. I think a lot of customers would explain that to the dealer and say, geez, I'm only $300 or $400 away. Is there anything we can do to get into my price range? Right. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But that would be, in essence, a negotiation that the customer would have. If that was a non-negotiating environment, then the dealer would say, sorry, we don't have any flexibility. And the person might still buy the car, who knows, over that amount of money. Yeah. But they certainly wouldn't be 100% satisfied. Maybe they'd be 99% satisfied. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I would see, like, you want to be again, it's the difference. It's not Amazon, right? You're not buying a $10 cord that you can return back, right? It's just like you're making a huge decision, and you want to make sure. I guess the underarching theme, right? Like, why? Why would someone not want that haggle free pricing or single price model? Would be that you want to make sure that that dealer or whoever you're buying it from wants to do business with you. You're not just I think that might be the underlying thing here. What might, as I'm thinking this out loud, is like the customer's coming in, right? And they come in on the car. Obviously, we know that customers come in, they do a lot of research, they watch Mohawk Table Talk.
That's right.
And they become an educated car buyer. And they come in and they're like, hey, I did my research, and this is kind of like where the price falls. And I would prefer if we, get a little bit closer to this. And you want to make sure that they're a partner with you in your car buying journey versus just being a pit stop. Yeah. And that single price kind of, and again, if you're watching live, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're like, no, I'd rather have a one price. I know what I'm going to get. I know what comes with it. I know what doesn't come with it. And I don't want to spend hours in the dealership negotiating back and forth. And granted, I don't think anybody wants to be in a dealership negotiating back and forth. A salesperson, a sales manager, right. We want to make sure we find you the right car, make it affordable as soon as possible, right? But the underlying theme is that, are you willing to be there for me for what I'm asking, right? And you're almost, we call it relationship building. Like, you are building a relationship, because who are you going to call when you need something done with your car?
Ghostbusters.
It's not going to be Ghostbusters or Senor Pumpkin Hand.
That's right.
Pumpkin here on the side. You're going to call the salesperson when there's a little ding, scratch, dent that maybe you didn't see, right? Or you need to get service on your vehicle. You're going to wonder where to get service. You might look at the Valvoline, or you're like, I want to take it to where I bought it, right? You want to know that that dealership has your back, or you may not go back.
Yeah. It's there are so many angles to this. Yeah. And we just brought this up because it's somewhat a layered topic, because as some industry folks who chat with a lot of people around the country and a lot of other dealers, both Nate and I do that frequently, that the new age in terms of the new way people are consuming products, including cars, and the websites where somebody can buy something online and never talk to a person, not good or bad, it just depends on each person's preference. That one price model is more of a topic, and that's why we're bringing it up. I would say that some of the feedback I've received from some other dealers is that those dealers and their customers have said that if you have a one price model, what that really means, not to be negative, but it means that there's no negotiation, right? And the word negotiation kind of has a negative undertone. It doesn't have to be negative. Sometimes negotiation could be helping. or be flexible. So I like to think instead of negotiation, to me that's the same thing as flexibility.
Yeah.
I'll give you a real quick example. If somebody was buying a pre-owned vehicle and the vehicles are in really good condition, and the vehicles are priced as they are, and that's the price. If there was something that the customer asked to be super satisfied with their purchase, to be included or taken care of, once the dealer takes care of that, then they've really negotiated, right?
Yeah.
They've been flexible based on what the customer asks, and it seems difficult. It seems like it could be difficult for a customer to go to somewhere where it's one price, no negotiation, and then their request to have that little thing taken care of, they'd say, no, we can't do that because our promise is that we don't negotiate. And to me, then it becomes less of a positive for a customer, right? So there could be a negative to the customer to that. And it's not about price haggling back and forth and all that stuff. It's more of like, are you limiting flexibility for the dealership to take care of the customer?
Yeah, I also read a Reddit, right? I wanted to look and see what others were thinking, but there's individuals out there that when they go to that one single price, there's add-ons on there that they might have not seen beforehand.
Like a dealer add-on?
A dealer add-on that's like, I forget what it was.
Like a prep fee or a fee or something?
Yeah, something like that along those lines. And they're like, it was some weird fee. And I think that most dealers would say, like, we would specifically say, yeah, we're not gonna, we put reconditioning into our vehicles, right? Like when you buy the vehicle from us, we want to make sure that you don't have any issues with it. And so we are spending a lot of money to recondition this vehicle. But from the individuals on the Reddit thread, they're talking about these fees that didn't come into the initial price when they saw it, and then they came in, and
got it.
It's similar to like the plus tag, docs, tags, and fees.
Okay.
Like, if you're going to do a single price, have everything in that price.
Right.
Don't come in and say, oh, hey, we have these fees plus. Now, what I do get is if you are buying it from, the doc fees are separate. So maybe what you do if you are a single, no price, is that you rate it higher for what the highest could be, right? And then when you come back to the customer, like, hey, the doc fee is less than we thought it was going to be.
Right.
Here's some money back. That would really get the customer like, oh, wow, thank you so much. That's great. Because they expected more, but they're actually getting it for less.
Yeah, it sounds like that thread, it sounds like what they're talking about, if I heard Nate correctly, is they're talking about transparency.
Yeah.
Like, make sure, like, whether you say you're one price or whatever, like, whatever you say, just do what you said.
Right.
If that's the price, then that's I saw the price, like that should be the price.
Right.
Not a price, oh, that's the fake price, it's going to be a different price. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. So I could see where if there was a one price store that did something like that, now it wouldn't be for the customer. If they're going to add on additional fees or change the price, then that certainly wouldn't be an advantage to the customer. So we're just tossing around some pros and cons here. There obviously is no answer. What I know, like I was saying to Nate off camera ahead of time, is if 10 people walked in and wanted to buy a vehicle, all 10 people may want to buy a vehicle in a little bit different manner.
Yeah.
You may be somebody who likes the one price idea. Makes a lot of sense to me for sure. Then the next person may say, well, yeah, of course I want a good price, but also if it comes down to it and something isn't exactly perfect with a deal, but I'm asking the dealer for something to make me happy, they want to have that ability to ask and not have some rule posted up on the wall that says you can't ask for anything because we don't negotiate, right? So, in other words, they just want some flexibility.
Right.
Some people like that ability to have flexible.
Now, also changes pay plans in the dealership too.
Sure.
Because if you're doing no price, then it's you're basing that one price, single price. If you're basing the structure off that, and again, we're not a single price here, so I can't totally confirm this. I'm kind of just speculating. I haven't talked to dealers that are, and maybe you have and can kind of shed some light in this, but when you go to a single price, it takes off a little bit of it goes from a commission versus salary to then bonus style structure, where it's like, okay, you make this much, or you make this much per car, or whatever it is. And then on top of that, if you hit these goals that we're trying to hit, then you become more of a volume dealer, versus if I sell this car higher, then I make more, or situation.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I hadn't thought about that part. One thing about the negotiating, which positive or negative, everybody has their own view, is that some buyers, right, some shoppers, if you haven't bought a car yet and just looking around, right, and you talk to a salesperson, similar to what Nate was saying, there's a lot of times, including now, where the market, kind of like the market out there, is a buyer's market. So there's more cars than there are buyers. So the buyer actually is in a position where kind of like they're in the driver's seat, so to speak, right? Like they have power. But when you're in a situation where there's one price, there's really, you're kind of eliminating that power, right?
Yeah.
Like the salesperson, there's no reason to like be flexible. I was using that verbiage a few minutes ago. There's no reason to be flexible on anything, whether it's price or additional things that the dealership can offer or whatever. There's no reason to do that. So, I guess that could be a positive or negative, right?
I see that.
It's tough to quantify. But we've talked about this for about 10 minutes now. Let me just clarify this, because if you're watching and you don't know Mohawk, maybe you don't understand where Mohawk Auto Group stands on this. And we're chatting here. This is just our opinion, our two guys chatting with an audience to listen. So Mohawk Auto Group, what we do is we want to make sure that we take care of, I was using that 10 customers that walked in the door example. We want to make sure we take care of all 10 customers.
Right.
And we absolutely can respect and want to use a transparent, best price forward type of model, which we do anyway. So, for example, we give you a great price. We explain why the price is good up front, because we expect that you're going to take that information and consider it outside of the dealership. Like, go home, chat about it, think about it, shop maybe other makes and models for comparison. We expect that. And that means that we're always aggressive on our pricing.
Right.
So you can be assured that if you got the price from us, I guess act like it's a one price, whatever you wanted to do, and you agreed to that, your research will show that you got a great deal without having to have a plaque on the wall that says that. On the other hand, if somebody in that first example I used found a specific vehicle, especially a used car, and found that used car, the pricing all made sense, and it was just a hair away, we want to know, because there may not be, but there may be a situation where we can accommodate that. And I'll give you an example of why that is, like why would we be able to change the price? Because if on a used vehicle, what we do at the dealership is, when we acquire a vehicle, the vehicle is kind of fresh to us, it's ready to go, all that kind of thing. If for some reason after a week or two the market shows that there's a lot of those same cars, we may change that vehicle price to meet what the market demand is, right? And it might change over a period of time. So if we change that price later, then somebody may actually be able to save a little bit of money if for some reason that vehicle was reduced in price, as an example. So if you were here on a Friday and the vehicle was due to be reduced in price on a Saturday, there could be a situation where we may be able to save you some money by just honoring the reduced price ahead of time, right? So that's an example of why a price might change. It's not that the first price was no good, it's that maybe there are situations why a price would be reduced. So that's usually a common question I get, Nate, from people that say, well, why would you reduce the price and not give it to me? No, we actually would give it to you, but we want to make sure that you understand why there would be a difference in a price that somebody's seeing online compared to what we might offer them the vehicle for. So it's not that the first price wasn't any good, it's that it's a great price. However, situations can arise where a vehicle will be reduced in price, and we can honor that to our customers. That saves you some money. But that in that scenario, I don't know if you call that negotiating or not, but it would be flexible for sure.
Yeah.
It'd be flexibility. So there's two reasons why, how Mohawk Auto Group tries to take care of our customers as best we can, because it's in our interest that we sell the vehicle the way you'd like to buy it.
Maybe we could put a poll up while we're chatting I put a poll up on our TikTok, so if you want to go there, you can. Maybe we can get something up on Facebook while we're chatting. Maybe we can throw it in the comments. But we want to know what your thought is. And I loved how you talked about, because this is how we think. And we think about how the customer wants to buy. So if you are, apparently my poll is gone, but gone on TikTok. It's been a minute.
It was on there.
It was on there, but smiley face if you think that you would rather do a one price, or a frowny face if you would want to keep it the way it is or buy the way you want to buy, right? Because if a dealership goes to a single price, then I believe that's like a black and white, like we will not. What the price you see is the price you get. Versus that Reddit thread that doesn't seem to be like that. But in theory, that is what's supposed to happen. What the price you see is what you get. Minus, yeah. And then for us, we want to make sure that the customers have a good experience, right? And typically, it's like going to Disney World, right? You're going to pay more for Disney World than you are if you're going to go to Six Flags, right?
That's true.
The experience is different. The experience is a big difference. So we obviously, I believe that we're closer to a Disney style price where we're always trying to figure out a better way to serve the customer, to give the customer a better experience, whereas you may be swayed to do less if the salesperson is just salary and just worries about selling another car versus a salesperson here really cares about your experience. You might pay a little more, but you're going to get the best experience you possibly can. Then, yeah. You guys kind of see what I'm saying. So I really want to know in the comments, say yes, one price, no to one price, what your thoughts are on that, because I want to know personally, I want to take the poll. I want to see really what people think out there versus our little pundit theorizing hypotheticals of whether or not our customers would prefer one price versus flexible pricing.
Yeah, it would be real interesting to get that poll back. Just like anything, I think there's like two sides to every coin, right? For one person, I know, I have a good friend, and he loves negotiating on everything. He's the guy that goes to garage sales, goes to swap meets, all that stuff. Because I don't know if you do this, but if you go to garage sales, right? Somebody has that old record player listed for $10, but you offer them $5 and you end up paying $7. Like, some people just like that.
Yeah.
Right? Not everybody, and not everybody goes to garage sales. I don't go. Like, I'm more of an Amazon. Like, if I want the socks, I just press it and I buy it. Who knows? But that doesn't make me right and him wrong. Everybody, it depends on what everybody wants. So it'll be real interesting to see the poll. We wanted to bring this topic up because it's a little bit relevant. And if maybe you're somebody who's already purchased a vehicle online from one of those online stores where you just paid the price and that was it.
Yep.
And maybe you did it because that price just worked for you. But the next time you do the same thing, the price may not work for you. So there may not even be maybe don't have to choose teams. You don't have to choose like I want all one price. Maybe just the next, maybe you try it. Depends on the situation or depends on the car. I don't know.
Fixed price or flexible pricing? What should you choose? I think that's what we'll name this.
That's right. So we opened that can of worms. It's the worms are crawling around, and we'll hit it again, I'm sure, in a future episode.
Of course, we'll definitely bring it back, maybe in the new year or something. Maybe because things change, sentiment changes. Customers may want to, maybe maybe it depends on how much time you have too, right? Like if it's Christmas time and you're trying to buy a new car, and you're like, I just need it now. Maybe the one price will help you.
That's right.
Get in, get out faster. Call your insurance, and you'll be good to go.
That's right.
Versus, summertime, you might be a little bit out there. You got a little extra time, and you're kicking the tires, as some would say, and you want to find a flexible pricing dealer.
So now we open that can of worms for everybody out there, the consuming public. We'd love to see your comments. If you're watching the replay, please put them in there. Again, there's no right or wrong. We keep it positive here at Mohawk Table Talk, so we welcome your positive comments. But it would just be interesting. It's a nice chat, and we'll take it on the social platform that you're watching on, and kind of go from there.
Yes. So thank you all. This is Mohawk Table Talk, where we come to you every Friday around 12 to give you the latest and greatest on what's going on in the local capital region here in New York, and some of the local news that you may have not seen. And we want to make you an educated buyer, because we know an educated buyer is the best buyer. We truly do believe that. That's why we have this podcast here at Mohawk Honda, the Mohawk Honda Studios for the Mohawk Auto Group. But until next week, throw those comments in there, and we'll see you next time on Mohawk Table Talk.